Hello, my name is Sandra Gordon, and today I'm going to be telling you guys the importance of the Harlem Renaissance. One of the best quotes I've ever heard has been, "Hold fast to dreams, for if dreams die, life is a broken-winged bird that cannot fly." That was by Langston Hughes. Many of the best poets of the 20th century were a part of the Harlem Renaissance, and this is Sir Langston. Definition of topic: a blossoming of African American culture, particularly in the creative arts and the most influential movement in African American history. Reason to listen: African Americans were able to control the Black narrative and representation of culture. It brought more attention to Black experience. Black writers had a voice in one of the most racist periods in American history, and they were both important male and women artists. Statement of expertise: Carrie D. Wentz, who wrote the article, "The Harlem Renaissance, What Was It and Why Does It Matter?" stated, "So what was the Harlem Renaissance? The simple answer is that the Harlem Renaissance was the most important event in the 20th century for African American intellectual and cultural life." Today, I'm going to discuss the background and significance of the Harlem Renaissance. Then I'm going to talk about the influential writers and artists and also their art that came from the Harlem Renaissance. The Harlem Renaissance started a movement of Black creative voices to share their culture to the world. 300,000 African Americans moved to the North in the 1910s because of the Great Migration. Harlem was the most popular place to migrate. Because of all the struggles African Americans endured, they expressed their feelings into art and literature. Jazz began to spread in the 1920s in America, but also around the world. The Cotton Club became a popular place to hear jazz music, but only to white audience. A big figure in jazz, Duke Ellington, performed there. Drama of the movement had to overcome racist stereotypes like the popularized blackface. There became more Black playwrights, which led to Black-led theaters to rise. The Harlem Renaissance set the stage for the civil rights movement. A lot of the most popular figures in art, literature came from the Harlem Renaissance movement. Jazz, again, was one of the most influential genres of music. Louis Armstrong was a prominent figure in the movement. He was popular with Black and white audiences and also wrote the wonderful song, "What a Wonderful World." Important writers like Langston Hughes wrote the famous poem Harlem, and Zora Neale Hurston wrote the famous poem Their Eyes Were Watching God. Both were very influential to future Black writers and poets. Hurston especially sharing and writing about her experience as a Black woman in her time. On Billie Holiday, an important figure in jazz and swing music who has inspired artists such as Frank Sinatra, Nina Simone, and Joni Mitchell, all considered the greats. Holiday was known for her distinct voice. And Paul Robeson. He was a very big figure to Black actors because he gave them the chance to work on stage. Robinson was one of the first Black actors to start playing roles that were serious with no racist stereotypes. Today, we discussed the importance of the Harlem Renaissance and the impact it had on Black culture and people. I hope you all will look up the art and artists I mentioned today. Black culture isn't talked about enough. It's important to talk about the specific time in history where there were so many creative minds that really influenced a lot of the modern art today. Thank you.